I think they're sort of trying to give the message that though sports are fun, you still have to work hard.
Yeah, well, turns out I was wrong. The Mighty Ducks Game Changers Season 2 pretty much tackled the same theme as Season 1, but just in a more intense environment with the Epic Institute. But the difference between Season 1 and Season 2 is in Season 1, they were actually going against a force that was kind of doing things wrong. They were learning hockey wrong. They were very intense. Their coach put a lot of pressure on them, and they freaked out if they did anything slightly wrong, even if they won. But in season 2, we've got Coach Cole, who does push the players hard, but I can tell that he cares about their success. He wants them to be successful, and he's just trying to make that happen. So I didn't really care as much for the whole, Mighty Ducks fighting for their way. I did care about it a little bit, but at the same time, I felt like Coach Cole's way of things wasn't terrible. Like he was just trying to create great players. He was trying to uh, push them to the limit, and that's not just about hockey. It's about life in general. I mean, you need to be able to work hard to get somewhere in life. Yes, you should be able to enjoy your life as well and not take it too seriously all the time. But I think there needs to be a balance. So I'll push that idea to the side. For now, let's talk about what I think they did well, which is a few characters. I think 3 characters were done quite well, which is Coach Cole, his son Jace, and Evan. First, I'm going to talk about Coach Cole and his son Jace. I think the relationship between these 2 characters was quite well done. It felt like it had a backstory, it had layers. It was complex, and it's built well into the theme of the show, and their character arcs I feel were well done, and they were earned. Like they didn't just happen. Uh, it took steps. It took time, and I think that was very well done. Another character that I think was very well done in this season was Evan. Evan was the one person on the Mighty Ducks team that actually bought into everything that this institute was about, all the hard work. He wanted to work hard to become a better player, um, but at the same time, he didn't want to lose his friends. And that's something he struggled with throughout the season. And by the end of the season, I feel that he had a good balance of both. He was still passionate about playing hockey. He still wanted to be a professional one day. But at the same time, he valued his friends and he valued his relationships. And I think that is where Evan was at the end of the season. I feel like should have been the sweet spot they hit for the whole season for all the characters, because both are important. And I mean, I'm not saying the Mighty Ducks don't exactly work hard, but I feel that they didn't work hard enough to deserve the win. I mean, they played against a very skilled team in the finale, and somehow they still won. I mean, we could say that's because of Jace and Sophie and Evan, who are all quite skilled players already. But the rest of the team, I feel like, didn't really contribute uh, because they just didn't have the skill. So when they won, I didn't feel like I cared because I saw it coming. I knew it was going to happen. It felt like the cliche thing. And on top of that, I don't feel like they worked for it. The characters that had skill, like other than Evan, were already skilled before the season. And like Evan in himself was skilled, but I feel he probably improved his skill over the season. But the other players, they really didn't play a role. They didn't work to get the win. They didn't work to prove that their way of doing things is a good way of doing things, that you don't have to make your whole life about a sport or about a hobby or a career. And I feel like that's something that was really hit on very well with Evan, that point, which is like Coach Cole told him that he has a ceiling, right? And I mean, it's true, different people have different capacities. So you shouldn't really put all your eggs in one basket, because it may not work out for you, and then you'll end up in a pretty bad place after that happens, right? But at the same time, you should work on your goals. You should work on trying to do what you like, what makes you happy, and what you feel you're talented at, and that you can use to better yourself and others. And I feel like if they hit that sweet spot, if maybe Coach Cole and Coach Alex's styles were mixed, with Coach Cole's style of working hard to get the win, with training the players so that they can win, and Alex's style of more of a team bond, more of having fun with your life and having fun with hockey. If they mix those two, I feel like that would make for a much more interesting and satisfying season. I mean, for one thing, at the end, when they win, it would feel a lot more satisfying. And throughout the season, we would sort of see these two styles come together, and I feel like there could be an interesting dynamic there. But rather than that happening, I feel like Coach Cole rather just took on Alex's teachings, or Alex's beliefs, what she believes, but Alex didn't really consider his. But I feel that both are important. Both make you a better person. So overall, I don't love this season as much as the last. I feel like their win was more plausible and more earned. And overall, last season just felt like it had more of a spirit in it. It was more interesting. It was more fun. This season, I feel like, especially at the first half, it was a little slow. They were developing things very slowly. They were sort of meandering around the same point. They were very slowly developing the same things. And I guess in the last part of the season, it sort of sped up, got more interesting. But overall, it wasn't as fun as the first season. And I just didn't feel for the characters as much as I did in the first season. I really loved all of the characters in the first season, but in this season, most of them I just didn't really care about. They were nice little comic relief, or nice characters added in there to lighten things up, but I didn't care about them as characters. So overall, I would give this season a 6 out of 10. It wasn't bad. I still enjoyed parts of it, but I think it could have been very much improved. And it sort of tried to convey the same message as the first season, but I think it just wasn't conveyed as well. So tell me in the comment section down below, what did you think of this season of the Mighty Ducks Game Changers? Did you like it as much as the first season? Did you like it less? Did you like it about the same amount? Tell me all that stuff in the comment section down below, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.